Maybe this will work. Right now I'm speaking through the webcam. I think we'll do this because the other microphone seems to be out of service, at least for now. Okay, but at least we have something. I think I can be heard at this point. So I'm gonna once again test the audio. Yeah, I can be heard. There's a bit of a noise in the background. I don't know how I can get rid of it. Not sure. If anyone is very good with OBS Studio, let me know in the chat. But absent that, let's just get right into it. So I will turn on the laptop monitor in just a moment. And start the presentation. Basically, we're going to be building Rayquaza, the set that I have right in front of me, and here it is in the thumbnail. I'll also be doing a giveaway for some Pokemon cards and maybe some Pokemon sets and maybe the minifigure as well, depending on how well this stream performs. And here's the giveaway for this year, updated for August. You can see Rayquaza has now joined. So if we hit the 5,000 subscriber mark, I will buy a whole other Rayquaza with my own money and give it to one of my lucky subscribers. We've reached some of our goals already, and some of the giveaway prizes have been allocated or are in the process of being allocated right now as we march towards our goal of 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. Anything is possible. You build them one at a time. So if you like what you see, please share with your family, friends, coworkers, anyone else who you think might be interested in the channel. It really helps me out, and it's gonna help us grow our community here at Versatile Fun Designs. With that being said, let's get right into the build. So just sort of the benefit of my future self when I do the review, here's a look at the box. So the box is done in a vertical format, and what's that at the top? Oh, more Pokemon cards, and these are actually special. These came all the way from Japan. I got them specifically for this live stream. And someone is going to be winning one or more of these cards, again, depending on the performance of this live stream. And do let me know in the chat what you think about the cards, the set, the channel. So, looks really menacing. I just wish they didn't use the black box art, because Pokemon has so many different types of art. Like, imagine if they did something like this card, for example, on this box. Like, just look at the difference. That would have been insane if they had done that. So I'll actually open the chat on a separate device to make it easier for me to see what's going on and to reply to your comments. So if you sent something very early on, I did not see it yet. Sorry about that. I was just setting everything up. I see we have at least one chat message. Let's start. Of course, remember to do a thumbs up, like, and share the stream. It really helps me out. Alright. I think we're good to go. Let me know if the audio or music needs adjusting. Here's the set. Let's take a look at the back of the box real quick. See that we can remove Rayquaza from its stand. Here are the dimensions of the set if you're interested. is the minifigure. Looks like she has an alternative expression and side printing on the legs. That's pretty interesting. And it looks like we're going to have some possibility right here. I don't know why such a large 18 plus set has these push tabs. I don't think anyone's ever used them. I would not recommend that anyway. Instead, I would recommend opening this from the top, like a normal person, so that you could put everything back inside. With that being said, let's open this set and see what's inside. When I'm not doing this live, I'm able to speed this up so you see it in a few seconds, but when I'm doing it live, there is no such way to speed things up. But keep those comments coming, because by commenting, you are entering the giveaway for some potentially very valuable cards. We're going to start with these, to be fair. I'm going to start with these and see how these do. And then if the stream really performs well, then we'll move on to the fancy stuff. We can get paper, plastic bags. What do you think? Oh, paper bags, actually. We're getting more and more paper bags in North America. This transparent piece is not part of any bag. That's not good. So, go Pokemon Go. Yes! Go Pokemon Go, indeed. We'll get some instructions. I thought this would be larger in size, the instruction manual. Of course, I won't be using it, but it is there if you want to use it. One of these pieces, sadly, without any protection. Hopefully, these did not get scratched. We'll see very soon. I'll sort the bags just for my review, and also to put them back in the bag and in the box. Sorry, and use them one by one. We have 1, 3, 4. I think this has approximately 10 bags, plus or minus. I'll show the bags in groups of 4. Let's see if I can get away with the first 5. I noticed that the paper bag designs are different. I actually have here the previous style, where there was studs and stuff. This is the old style, this is the new style, which is, I guess, even simpler than it was before. Out of the way. That's much better. Yeah, there's not enough space here for the box, so I'll have to move that out of the way, but I can still refer to it when I need to. Don't worry about that. 3, 4, 5. I think I'll be able to just put the remaining bags here at the lower level. I think there's 9 bags. In this set, we get 9 numbered bags, numbered from 1 to 9. Here are bags 6 and 7. We also get these parts that are not part of any bag. So 2 of these transparent pieces, and hopefully they are not scratched right out of the box. In my case, they look to be fine, just looking at them very quickly. But I think LEGO should have covered these in like a separate plastic or paper bag, just so they don't get scratched up, because that really ruins the look of a premium display model. We also get these instructions in this set that I will not be using, but I'll still look at the first few pages just to see, is there anything interesting? We have some basic information about Rayquaza. You can pause and read this if you like. It's in English, French, and Spanish. more information here. So if you play the game, you probably already know this stuff. But if you don't, or if you don't know the specifics about Rayquaza, you can read them here. So that's pretty interesting. We also learn about the minifigure as well. Here's a comparison between the LEGO minifigure and the source material. I think at first glance, it looks like they nailed the look. Of course, here the dimensions are not quite the same, the proportions, but that is normal for LEGO minifigures. And a large part of the set is this thing right here, this stand. Does it have an official name? The Sky Pillar Summit, according to this. I've not played this particular game, so I'm not a specialist on Rayquaza myself. But I have watched some of the media that includes Rayquaza, just in preparation for this review. Even more information, so that's a lot of information for one set. But I suppose it's what we've come to expect with the 18 plus sets. I just wish the black background was a bit more interesting, because if you look in-game and in media, this is what it's supposed to look like. Like, imagine if the box looked more like this. I think that would have been far more interesting. And then there's an orange brick separator, and bag 1, build the minifigure, and so on. From this point on, we will not look at the instructions. There is the part list available online. I'll show it very briefly here, but you can find this information on lego.com at this point. Do let me know in the comments if there's any interesting pieces here or something that catches your eye. And one good thing about this set is that there's no sticker sheet, so I'm very happy about that. Oh, and we see the minifigure here from the rear. That's a nice touch. Alright, so now I'm gonna sort these bags, and then we'll start the build with bag number 1. I don't see that many comments in the chat yet, but keep them coming. Keep them coming, and you just might receive a cool LEGO Pokemon card. And because these are Pokemon cards and not LEGO sets, they're easier to ship. So I can mail them pretty much anywhere in the world, almost. So if you're watching from almost anywhere in the world, as long as you meet the requirements for the giveaway, because you have to be 18 plus for legal purposes, then you just might win something today. And of course, if you're new here, please make sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps me out. You can see me putting the things literally in the box right now, so that when it comes time for each bag, I can just reach into the box and grab it, basically in reverse order. So that's why I'm putting them like 9, 8, 7, 6, and so on, so I can just, without thinking, just pull the next bag and use it. That's my technique. I do this offline as well. Bag 1, we're just going to keep it there. We'll build it. And we know from the first page of the instructions that we will get the minifigure in this first bag, thankfully. It's always good when you get the minifigure early on so that you can show it on the live stream and use it to get more viewers. Adjust the angle a little bit. Here's the orange brick separator. Hopefully we won't use it too much because there are no stickers in this set. Let's put Zinnia. First of all, that's the name of our minifigure. Let's put her together. So I'll show you right now the torso and legs before we attach the cape. So here she is. I like the printing. The quality is really well done. Here's the side printing. Sadly, no back printing on official LEGO minifigures. At least on the legs, there is printing, of course, on the back of the torso. But you know what I mean. So yeah, I think it's a very well done, well produced minifigure. I'm very happy to add her to my collection. The printing on this side and this side is not the same. This is impressive to me, the way they did this. That's pretty nice accuracy for LEGO standards. So it's well designed and well executed, which is not always the case. If they gave us some side printing on the arms, that would have been deluxe, or maybe dual molding for the arms. But I suppose like this is pretty decent for the first ever LEGO Pokemon minifigure. In all of human history, this is the first one. And people will be talking about this minifigure for 10, 20, 50 years later. This will always be number one. So if you're watching this live, try to get this minifigure if you can. Of course, if you like the subject material. Try to get this minifigure either by buying the set or by buying the minifigure parts somewhere else, maybe from Bricklink. Don't pay too much for it. Like, it's a minifigure that's still actively on sale. It is not retired yet. It just came out. So hopefully you'll be able to find this on a good discount. And if this live stream performs very well, I will give away this minifigure copy that I have right here to one lucky subscriber. Whether I do that or not, that's up to you. Let's say I want to give a reasonable goal. I'm not going to say 1 billion subscribers. That's not reasonable. But let's say if we can increase the subscriber count by 20 between now and the end of the live stream, I will give away this Zinnia minifigure. So just 20 real subscribers. No bots, please. Don't use any bots if you have any of those. Actual real subscribers who will count in the YouTube algorithm and actually watch the videos. If you can do that, then one of you will be taking this minifigure home. Like on previous good live streams, I've been able to get like 10 subscribers in a single night. So I think 20, it's a little bit ambitious, but it's within the realm of what is possible. And just for reference, right now, at the time that I'm speaking, we have 1,566 subscribers. 1566. Just need one more subscriber and it's going to be 1567. Very close to that. So let's see if we can get that goal. If we hit the 1567 goal, I will be giving away one of these cards. So just one subscriber and someone will win this. So yeah, we'll just put this to the side, and in the meantime we will start the build. And it looks like the minifigure will be holding one of these pieces, and we should have an extra of this in the set. Yeah, we always get these 1x1s as extras. Here's a closer look at that. That's very nice. Yeah, this is a historic minifigure. This is an historic minifigure, and I'm happy to add her to my collection. Alright, now for the build itself. You see some interesting colors right here. These will not be visible at the end, but I guess they're references to various types of Pokemon. LEGO always likes to have like these Easter eggs in its builds. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, now let's start. So I will have the pieces right here where you won't see them, but I'll be adding them to the build, and I'll try to build right here. with a good base, then you can build anything on top of it. The thing about this set is that we're going to build the base entirely in this first bag. Now here we have to be careful to attach this, so it's not like this. To maintain a continuous diagonal line, there's a bit of a break here, but this will not be very noticeable in the final result. And so far, like, this looks like it could be a spaceship or some completely other type of build. I like to use my imagination, and all the other stuff you put the same pieces. That's part of the spirit of it. Add a bit of stuff here. Oops. Basically, we'll do the pattern again and again and again. When we use up these pieces, we'll free up some of the other parts. Just to clean up all the parts we have. So that would be my advice for building it out of the instructions. Do the stuff from bottom to top, from inside out, easiest to most difficult, just to get easy parts out of the way. Don't have to think about them anymore. When you have less parts, the difficult parts actually become easier. When you're building technical mechanisms, check them before you're done with the build. Let's do it again. Right. So these pieces put here. We have just a few pieces left. Bag 1. On closer inspection. I believe this goes here. That's what it looks like. And we should have some piece that we are able to attach here, and it should be flush with ground. So yes, that's what it is. Someone let me know in the comments, what do these colors refer to? Either references to base or these are the parts that LEGO had in this color, because they're going to be using here. Yeah, pick the cheapest version of these colors and just put them here. Optimize the budget of the set. Those LEGO designers, they're very good at optimizing the set budget. Have to remember, like, not to build anything over here. Forgot about that. I haven't live streamed in a bit. Include the main figure towards the middle, so it appears in the shorts feed. And if I want to make YouTube proud of this, it's good to have the main figure front and center. Come on. Stand. Stand. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Now let's do this side, and then we have a bit more to do down here. I need to plug in my device. Case. Brought the charger. Okay. Now we have these pieces here, let's not forget about them. So this is not completely symmetrical because we're not using the masonry brick in this corner. We are using it here, but not here. I don't know if there's a good reason why. I guess we'll find out, as Lloyd said in Ninjago. guessing they're alternating between the regular bricks and the masonry bricks. I think this goes like this. In theory, this should go here. Yeah, that fits perfectly. Now just a little bit of stuff here, but that's basically going to be like a cloud type of thing. Oh, and these two go here. Most likely, this piece goes here. It's very smooth, very good looking. Now here we will essentially build some type of structure. Are we missing something? Actually, oh, this actually goes there, such that this, I did not see that other white brick. This goes here, this goes here, because we need the color to be visible. Now, oops. Almost done with this bag. Oh, wrong angle. Alright, now I'll pause the music, do an announcement for bag 1. For those of you who are new, I pause the music so that I can take this audio later and repurpose it for my long form review that I will publish to my YouTube channel. And surprisingly, just one extra part in this bag. I'll also turn off my camera for the announcement just to make my life easier later on. Bag 1 gives us the Zinnia minifigure and starts to build the foundation of the sky pillar. Alright, just a quick summary for each bag. I can put in between like the speed builds for each bag, and you can check out another video on the channel if you've never seen this before. Let's see. Have we reached the magic number? So 1566 subscribers. We need 1567. That's what we need in order to start doing some giveaways. So don't be shy. Subscribe button is right there. It's free to press it. I did not set any like subscription length requirements. You don't need to subscribe for 6 months or 12 months. You could subscribe and then 1 second later send a chat message and you're in the giveaway. So it's very open to anyone who's interested. And again, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All you need to be is sign your Google account. So yeah, let's go to bag 2. Unfortunately, the set only includes one minifigure, so unless I made a mistake in the packaging, we're not going to have any other minifigures in this set. Which makes me sad, because I love LEGO minifigures. I think Zinnia is going to be lonely without any other minifigures to keep her company. I'd love to bring non-LEGO Pokemon minifigures to keep her company until the big Pokeball set comes out in October. Depending on how well this live stream does, that will help me determine whether or not I'm going to get that big and expensive set. So this bag is just plates and tiles. Not much to see here or talk about. Pretty standard parts if you ask me. I'd say just don't get these parts here mixed up with the others. They're different, slightly different. Because you could spend a long time searching for this and you have a bunch of these instead. And honestly, I don't think it's that bad. There's not that many parts here. So this is probably the boringest bag to build, but we have to build it to move on to the next. So let's just do it. Essentially we have these that go on top here, and I don't know why, but this kind of reminds me of one of those Ninjago sets. I feel like there's a Ninjago set I built relatively recently that does kind of similar things. I think it was the Ninja character display. Yeah, I think it did something similar to this. And I also remember building that one. I think I built that one live. Or something similar. It was basically a display set. So logically, just to have basically, here we have a 4x8. Logically, a 4x8 would go on top of it. It just makes sense to me. So basically, we're just repeating what we did before. I'm pretty sure the designer, when they were making this, they just copy-pasted the pieces. I know they don't use Bricklink Studio at LEGO, at least it's not been publicly acknowledged, but they use a software that's pretty similar. And what remains are these parts here. Basically, by process of elimination, these all go here. this point, all those colors that we saw at the beginning are all gone. Completely hidden away. I think it's fine for LEGO to use random colors if we never see them after. I have no problem with those. What I don't like is you have like random blue and green and yellow Technic pins and stuff like that. They're visible on display models, especially the very expensive ones. Now for these tiles, I'll start with the corners first, just to make sure that the screw marks are not visible. So for example, this is what I'm talking about. I do not want to see this in the final result, so I'll orient it to point away from me. I'll do the same for these two corners right here. I'll see, is there any other place where this is relevant? I believe the answer is no. Maybe here, but that's kind of a stretch. But still. No, we do not want to leave anything to chance. With these in place, everything else can go any which way. So these I don't care. I don't have to concentrate as much. I do the same thing when building the modular buildings. Always do like the corners first and then go back and do everything else. This is something that in the LEGO community I noticed not everyone cares about. Some people do, some people even more than me, but many people don't. Now here is the fun part. We're gonna have to use these plus a whole bunch of these triangle tiles. This can be a bit tedious, but I would say enjoy it. If you're not in a rush to build this thing for a deadline or something like that, just enjoy the build, have fun with it. Take it nice and easy. And for these ones, just a line diagonal, just like this. You'll alternate between ones that point this way and ones that point that way. That's another way to think about it. As long as in the end you have like this nice diagonal. It might help to orient this towards you to make your life easier. And it's here where we no longer notice that gap. It gets covered up, as you would expect. At the very end, we will use these pieces once again. And we're already almost done with this bag. I feel like we just started it. Et voilà. Do the announcement for bag 2 and let's move on. Bag 2 continues building the base of the sky pyramid. What was this thing called again? Let me get the name right. Sky pillar. Bag 2 continues the build of the base. Let me do that again. Bag 2 continues building the base of the sky pillar. Yeah, sometimes I do multiple takes like that, but you only see the last one. You don't see all my mistakes in my normal videos, but this is a live stream, so it's a bit different, and you get a bit of a glimpse behind the scenes. And it's not just me. Pretty much every YouTuber does this either manually or automatically. They might have an editor that they pay to make them do this. Very few people can speak off the cuff consistently and never make mistakes. There are a few who can. There are a few. But it's not that many people that can do that. And massive kudos, massive respect to those people who can speak off the cuff perfectly, never making any mistakes whatsoever. I try. Right, moving on to bag number 3. Hopefully it's going to be a bit more interesting. I feel like a decent amount of weight in this bag. I want some colors. Okay, go back to the funky colors. Come on. Extra part. I separate the extra parts in this corner just so I don't accidentally use them. Anything interesting in this bag? Not particularly. Everything here is standard LEGO parts. There's this LEGO Technic part. 2 of them. That suggests that we're going to attach something to them later. Well, as usual, I'll just bring most of the parts closer to me. Reminds me of the song. Just put these to the side, and this way I'll be able to move this around and build here and there and everywhere. Looks like we're going to be building the stairs. This is, I believe, symmetrical or almost symmetrical. Let's see. And here you gotta count things carefully, because if you get things wrong, you'll have to do lots of disassembly. They do give you a brick separator, but let's hope you don't have to use it. before. This should go here. I got it right the first time. This goes here. Then this for some reason. I'm pretty sure this is a reference to something. The yellow, I know, is a Pikachu reference. That I know. I watched like the very early anime when I was a kid, like the very first version of Pokemon. Some of the episodes, not all of them. So I guess just like Ninjago, Pokemon has evolved significantly since those early days. Same thing happened to Yu-Gi-Oh, which I also watched, like the early stuff. I think Pokemon has been more successful than Yu-Gi-Oh in its more recent iterations. Sorry if people think that's controversial, but that's just my perception of things. So let's take a very quick break and look at the subscriber count. Still no increase, or this thing is not working. The thing that counts the subscribers. One of those two. If you're not subscribed, again, remember, it's free. I remember like the famous streamer had like that AI voice that would play at the beginning of each of his videos. Not the streamer, but like a channel about the streamer. And it would go like, 0% of you are subscribed. Fix that. I always found that to be pretty funny. And are any of you YouTubers watching right now? Are you monetized already, or are you thinking about the 4,000/8,000 hour requirement? That's really challenging, and even some large YouTubers came out against this change. I do want to give credits to Kyle Kalinske. I saw him personally advocate against this change, and I have to say thank you, Kyle, for that. The guy has 2 million subscribers, but he still thinks of the little guys, and you have to give people credit where it's due. It's not very clear what's going on right here. So the solution, my solution to that, is to build everything else first. Basically build what is obvious and then go to what is less obvious. this is gonna go here. That's for sure. Everything else is not super clear at this point yet. So in order to find out, well, this is a 2x8. How many of it do I see? 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So we don't know whether this goes here or here yet. So we need to do more thinking. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. We always do. Okay, upon closer inspection, this goes here. That means that this must go here. There's no other place for it to go. All right. Now, this is the only thing that fits here. You can start to build those stairs. And I really do like the effect. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. Essentially, we're using these tiles instead of just a 1x3. We're using these tiles to basically give a bit of a texture. It might be the case that all the... oh, never mind. The wrong one. It might be worth to just like sort these. It's very easy to get the wrong one. Yeah, spend a bit of time sorting, and then I won't have to think about which one to pick. Always pick the wrong one first. That's kind of how Murphy's Law works anyway. Yeah, so now I know exactly which one to pick. So yeah, like this texturing for each level of the stairs is pretty interesting to me. Yeah, you see the pattern here? It's pretty nice. Oh, but I think I'm making a mistake here. So this piece itself is okay, but it doesn't go directly here. There's a interesting technique where we're gonna put this offset by like half a stud basically. I think that's what's going on. Yeah, a bunch of jumpers. For those of you who don't know, these pieces are called jumpers because they allow you to jump by half a stud. in the LEGO grid. Yeah, this goes here, like that. That looks more convincing. That's nice. And I suppose at this point we can start to build the stuff here. Pretty sure like the reds and greens are all references to various Pokemon. I'm using some nice part usage. This piece here with the railing to hold on to this piece so we can basically build stuff on top of it. That's pretty smart. Basically we're just going to add some jumpers on top. Repeat what we did before. This actually brings it back to the original grid because 2 jumpers cancel out. I love LEGO math. And you see like these studs are perfectly aligned with these studs here. Alright. Checking again on the number of subscribers. Come on, people, we can do it. Let me actually, I think I forgot to redirect my most recent YouTube shorts to the actual live stream. Let me see if I can do that right away. Let me put this also in the August releases and change the related video. Yeah, so now people who stumble on my short will get sent straight here to my live stream. Oh, we did it. 1,567 subscribers. So there will be a giveaway. What's my favorite Pokemon? That's a good question. My answer is pretty basic, but I'll say Pikachu. It's the one that I remember from my childhood. Very iconic Pokemon. So one person is going to be winning this card. I'm going to pull it at random from here. And you might be winning more than just this, but we'll start with this. So I'll pull this card. So here it is. So you have this card right here, and actually I'll give you one more card. This is in honor of the 1,567 subscribers. So you will win this card and one more bonus card. I'll just do it off camera for a moment. It'll be this card right here. Could it be $1 million card? Maybe, who knows? But one person has already won these cards, that's for sure. I'll be sending it to any eligible winner. Of course, you have to be over 18 and all that fun stuff as per the terms of service. But yeah, any eligible winner will be able to win these cards. More are on the way. So there's more cards here. Also, the exclusive Japanese cards are not even released in North America yet. Depending on how this live stream performs, you might be walking away with some or all of these cards. All you have to do is subscribe and send a message in the chat. It costs you absolutely nothing. $0 and 0 cents. There's no risk involved. have some fun here. So yeah, I'm happy that there's going to be at least one giveaway winner. They're going to take these cards. I want to say they're going to take them home tonight, but realistically it'll take a while to arrive to your destination, but you got my point. So, yes, moving on. I believe this goes here. Might be off by one somewhere. There's jumpers, and then there's let me look at this again carefully. You have this first level, then also jumpers here. Then we go up by 2. And on top of this there are jumpers. On top of the jumpers there's this piece right here. Then there's also, oh, this goes here. Oh yeah, this is weird because it's not attached by anything yet, but it will be held on by, there's other things that will hold on to this, namely it's the jumpers. So definitely interesting building techniques. Actually, I might highlight this for my review, because later it's going to be a pain to take this apart. Yes, there are some challenges to building without the instructions. I'm relying only on the box art and the 3D view for each building phase. So I am seeing the 3D view of what this thing looks like from all the angles, but it's still not as easy as just following the instructions. But I enjoy the challenge. So I'll turn off my camera and music temporarily just to do a small announcement in the middle of this bag to point out the interesting building technique. We do have this interesting building technique where this piece is not attached by any studs, which would make more sense if I don't have the jumpers here. We do have an interesting building technique right here where we have this piece that's not attached by any studs, but then we attach it to the piece next to it using these jumper plates. That's some very interesting use by the designer of this piece right here, the railing piece, as well as jumpers. And 2 jumpers cancel out, and so we return back to the grid. Very interesting design that the designer did for just the stairs. If you just look at the box, you're not going to really understand how sophisticated this build really is. So that's one of the things that I love about LEGO. So that's just a preview of what will be in my long form review. I'll listen to that audio. Maybe I'll redo the audio if I think I can improve it, but at least I know my thoughts on this build, and at least I have a visual. Yeah, I'd say if you're new to building LEGO without the instructions, try building something like this, like the paper bag set, a gift with purchase that was announced and released recently. So do some small stuff, see if you like the challenge, and then go from there. That's also how I started when I did the channel 3 years ago. I would build much smaller sets first, like a $20 LEGO City set. It would take me quite a while to build it without the instructions, but with time and practice, I got better and better at this, thankfully. So I think it's a question of time and dedication. Do you want to dedicate a lot of your time to this? In my case, the answer is yes, because I love this so much. But everyone has their own interests. think this goes here. Yeah, above the jumpers you always have one of these, and then you have a green thing that's supposed to attach, was it here? And this goes here. Oh yeah, we have to fill this in first. And the third layer, we go like this, and this, and this, and around. And this, and then jumpers on top to link these as before. Yeah, again, there's a lot more to this set than meets the eye. And so far, we haven't even started building the actual Rayquaza yet. The monster, the Pokemon, we're just building the Sky Pillar, which is an important part of the set. Clearly indicated on the box, but just something interesting to note. On level 4, we have a round here. A little bit of a crack in the stairs. I'm not sure if this is like accurate to a specific version of the games or if it's just interpretation by the LEGO designer. Probably it's just an interpretation, but do let me know what you think. So then, with this last level, do we have any jumpers? Because we're running out of jumpers here. I believe the answer is no. This is where the pattern ends. Have some rounds. Oh, and then we have more railing pieces that actually fit perfectly. Oh yeah, that's smart. That's interesting the way they did the stairs. Well designed and well executed. Bravo to the designer. Yeah, so there are a few paper bags offered at the LEGO store, according to the LEGO website. It's not this one anymore, although they might still have it on stock. There's another LEGO Pokemon paper bag that actually was able to find at another retailer and reviewed recently. So hopefully you're able to get that at the LEGO store. I also know they're doing a One Piece make and take, at least in North America, tomorrow or the day after, depending on your time zone. Basically Sunday, the 23rd. Of course, check your local lego.com website for all the details. Through process of elimination, I'm guessing that these go here. There's nowhere else for them to go. So we can start to build the stuff that's over here. some stuff over here. Looks like this will go here. Nothing else fits. Same thing here. These, do we fill them in or not? That I don't know. But let's try to avoid answering that for as long as we can. Instead, I'll build the stuff that comes on top, so I'll be ready to attach it later. We have this. There's going to be other stuff attaching here. It looks like 1x1s here. We know that these are going to go here. So that takes up a bunch of pieces. We still have some pieces left over, so that means that it's possible that these go in here. Well, wait. No, we actually need them on the outside. If we put them here, then you won't be able to use them on the outside. Come on. I'll just, yeah. Starting with the masonry bricks. This one goes here, I believe, or here. And these guys, then another masonry. Then we have this that goes here. It's the only piece that is remaining. Process of elimination. And this can only go there. That's what I mean by do the easiest parts first, then nothing's too challenging after that. I think we're done with this bag. Yeah, so I'll do an announcement for this bag. And we'll move on to the next bag. Bag 3 builds the stairs and some of the mid-level parts of the sky pillar. Not sure what else to call that other stuff yet. I suppose that's good enough. Let's see. Before we move on, where's our subscriber count? Did it go up? Did it go down? It went up by another 1568. So when we hit with 1.57, with 2 more subscribers, I'll do another giveaway. Just 2 more subscribers. I know we can do it. And usually I would not do a giveaway for a totally random number, but it's one that was adding in 6-7, so I had to do it. Because I love 6-7. Just two more subs and we'll do another giveaway. Entirely free of charge. You do not pay for shipping, you do not pay taxes, you don't pay anything. Excuse me. All right. Bag number 4 is next. Bag 4. So I'm secretly hoping that they accidentally included more Pokemon minifigures in the set. That would be very rare for them to do that, but it has happened to other people in the past. You could research that if you like, if you don't believe me. But it's extremely unlikely. Statistically unlikely. As Zane would say, the odds of that are statistically low. Zane. This is Zinnia. I wonder if the LEGO Pokémon characters know the Ninjago characters or vice versa. I suppose it's possible. Here are the parts for bag number 4. It's mostly more of the same, just some plates and tiles. And some bricks as well, masonry bricks. We've already seen these in the previous bag. These pieces here, inverted curved pieces, and some double jumpers in light blay. So pretty standard stuff, all things considered. We'll just move on with this Technic part. It looks like this is gonna attach here. Oh yeah, we're gonna do this to... We're gonna basically use this to create the wall. So essentially, this is gonna be how we create the wall right here. So that's pretty smart design by the designer. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge to figure out without the instructions, but I think we can do it. I think we can. This kind of reminds me of those Star Wars ships, this general type of shape. So before working on any complicated stuff, we'll start with the simple stuff first. You see the front facades right here. Those are more obvious to figure out, so let's start with those. Let's see, which side do I want to do first? Does it even matter? Are they symmetrical? Not entirely. But probably this goes here. And here, like, there's gonna have to be like some guesswork involved. And that's not entirely clear how this is gonna go. Maybe I should start with what I know. Actually, yes, let's do that. So this here means that we've got 2.5 studs from here. Put this here. Okay. Is this supposed to be aligned? No. It's supposed to be like this one offset. I'm sure that's intentional. I'm pretty sure the same goes on the other side. So with this here, this does constrain what we can put where. And that actually helps us. This goes here. The symmetrical parts I'll do both at the same time. And there's going to be something that fills the gap here. We don't know what that is yet. Well, actually, we do know. You know, it's this because we see it. But then we don't know what goes here, if anything. Well, this has to go here. A process of elimination. And then these go here. Pretty sure that's how it goes. Actually, it's a masonry on this side. Is it? Apparently. And we also have stuff that goes on this side. I suppose we can do that as well. It also reminds me a bit of the Natural History Museum, minus the olive green. These colors are very prevalent there. The tan, the dark tan, the nougat. I remember these colors in the Natural History Museum, which I built, not live, but I built it on my channel a while ago, back when it came out in 2023. It was one of the first large sets that I built, and I really enjoyed putting it together. That thing took up a lot of space, a lot of parts. It was fun. I know that set is retiring soon, so if you want to get it, go out there and get it while you can. Especially if you can find it on discount, even better. I believe this goes here. Cover that cap. Basically, we're building this layer by layer. And although it's not perfectly symmetrical, it makes sense to do it like both sides at once because they're very similar. I really like how they did the color blocking here. It's so simple, but just having like this wall where you see two distinct colors, but then on the back side you have like this alternation. We do not see that at all from this angle. It's a fairly common technique, but it's nice to see it put to good use. I need more of those slope bricks. I only see these, but I know they don't go here. Here's one. And I know the other is not far. Okay, here's the other. Now just look at this. Very perfect way to blend these two together. It's interesting how LEGO designers almost never use like lots of masonry pieces right next to each other. I think that mock makers often do that, but LEGO designers use them in a much more restrained way. I'm guessing that's part of LEGO's internal design language that they use. Now we're slowly using up all the pieces in bag 4. So far we're only doing the easy parts, just bricks on top of plates. But soon I'll have to go to the slightly more challenging parts. This was fun to put together. Quite simple, and I do like the color blocking, as I said. But then the real fun stuff has not happened yet. We're gonna build some stuff on these two plates, and then we'll do a little bit of Technic magic to attach them where they need to go. And here, basically, there's no shortcut. I have to do them one by one. These pieces. This kind of reminds me of some of the medieval sets. They have this kind of style of build. And here it's intentional to use multiple of these tiles here to represent bricks or a different form of masonry pattern. The designer is basically giving us something different. Again, the technique is so simple, but the way it's done, like this looks like a brick wall, yet I have never built a brick wall exactly like this in LEGO. At least I don't remember building anything exactly like this. The designers always find a way to do something new and different, and I appreciate that. You're not always bored of doing the same thing again and again and again. Yeah, kudos to the designer for this. On the off chance that you're watching. I think this goes here. Alright, so we've done these, and actually let's see, are they symmetrical? The answer is no. They're similar but not symmetrical. Then we need to figure out how to attach these. Start with this one. This, I believe, will be the same for both sides. I'm doing a little bit of guessing here. I see some of this stuff in the building phase that I'm using, but not everything. I'm making educated guesses here. So this one has the green on this side, this one doesn't have the green on the other side. Orientation matters. Alright, so now I believe the green is meant to go with the green. So green with green. So yeah, that's an interesting alignment. So it can go like this for now, and then there will be something that stops it, I'm pretty sure. The same thing applies to this side. And then we should be able to attach this right here. And that's not going to go anywhere. Okay. I think I'll explain this now. Once again, I'll pause the music temporarily and turn off my camera to explain something to my future self and viewers who watch the long-form review. Here we have a very interesting building technique where this brick wall, or what looks to be like a brick wall, is attached using LEGO Technic. So here I did not attach the assembly just yet. We have this very interesting use of parts put together, attached using this LEGO Technic pin on a diagonal. And when we attach this like so, with the railing piece, it cannot go anywhere. So very, very genius design by the designer right here. And the final result is stunning. Yeah, this must have taken a few tries. Excuse me. A few iterations of design, I'm pretty sure. We're still at 1568 subscribers, 1568. If we get 2 more subscribers, I'll be giving away some Pokemon cards from here. If we get to, what's a reasonable goal for this? If we get 1600 subscribers tonight, I'll be giving away some cards from the nice pack, fancy pack. This is good too. You can get some decent cards in here. But the fun stuff, the exclusive stuff, is right here. And if you hurry, you'll be able to get it before it's officially released in North America. So yeah, this was very interesting. Now we have just a few parts left. Alright. So just gonna cover up these parts. I think this goes here. Yeah. Oh, and the reason they use this is to give us these studs. So we can attach this right here. Oh, that's smart. Genius. One of these is extra. I'm just hoping we didn't forget about these somewhere. Hopefully I don't have to disassemble anything, because I don't see where these go. Oh well, I guess it will come to light very soon. very close to moving on to the next bag, which is going to be bag number 5. Just have a few more pieces to go. Yeah, these go here. That I know for sure. I believe these go here. You just gotta make sure to put these at the exact right position. We want these to be actually out by 1, like this. I think that's the intent. And this goes here, and mirrored on the other side. Why are we doing this? I'm not sure yet. It's definitely an interesting choice. I think that's how this is supposed to go. Alright, let's announce bag 4 and move on. Bag 4 continues building the base of the sky pillar and adds some of the brick-built walls, including some built with studs on the side techniques. I know this is not a live stream that's related to Ninjago, but just to avoid. Actually, let's do another classic song. I was gonna play a Ninjago song, but we can. There's still other classic songs that I have in my collection. Yeah. Let's do this. Yeah, so just something a little bit different. Let's move on to bag number 5. I have any colors of this one. No. We have a bunch of white though. That's a lot of white and dark tan pieces. I'm guessing we're going to be building the clouds at this point. Would not be a sky pillar without any clouds, right? I would say don't mix up the pieces from this small bag and this small bag because they're separate parts. Alright. What are we up to now? I'm going to continue building these columns and then build the clouds as well. I think the columns are easier to figure out because they're basically the same pattern again and again. So you see the same stuff in this bag that we had in the previous bag, meaning they could have optimized the parts, but for some reason they chose not to do that. Let's squish the parts together. This thing is larger than it looks. It's hard to fit on frame because it's triangular. Welcome back, JackieBoy42. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Yeah, this is a very interesting build. Very consistent for the color scheme. I believe this goes here. Basically the same pattern as before. And this and this. I think we're towards the end here. That's an interesting choice. designer really they were cooking here. I wish they still showed the designer images in the instruction manuals. They used to do that up until fairly recently. I know designing a set is not just a single person effort. There's a whole team behind it. Still, I think they need to give credit to the designers for all the work that they do here. Like, I've designed some LEGO mocks, my own creations. They were nowhere near as complex as this, and elegant as this. This is art. I think a lot of people don't understand that. They still think that LEGO is like those like simple boxes of bricks that you would get like 25 years ago. Yeah, just look at that. We have tiles with the screw marks towards the bottom. We're now around the 5th bag. Still no sign of Rayquaza. I think it's coming in the next bag though. Almost. Once we're done with the clouds, we should be done with this thing. So the clouds is a lot more parts than I thought. They don't seem that complicated. It's just clouds after all. But actually looking at the amount of parts here, so many small parts to build those clouds, leaves me wondering, okay, what's going on here? You're supposed to just build what you can, do what you see first. I'm guessing it's okay to make guesses here. I mean, these clouds don't feel like the standard LEGO sets that we have come to know from LEGO in the past. I don't remember a set where LEGO would do clouds like this. And if you do know of such a set, let me know in the chat. I think this is the first time that LEGO does clouds to this extent. There's some Bricklink designer program sets that have lots of clouds like this. I think the Hot Air Balloon or something is one of them. But I'm talking about LEGO design sets. So this goes somewhere. Well, hold on to it. These are quite large builds. Okay, now I realize why there's nothing here. It's because there's going to be clouds jutting out. Interesting. starting to get tired. It's been a long day for me. And just a hint, these clouds are a lot easier to build if you see them from multiple angles, including the back. That really helps. This kind of reminds me of a whale, to be honest. Yeah, there's our first cloud. It's one of the smaller ones. We have another one on the other side. Then let's sometimes when you're building them, they look more like whales. Like this, I could see to be a whale or some other animal. But then when you look at everything in context, they appear to be clouds so much more than when you're building them. Okay, so these are the small clouds on either side. Now there's some larger clouds in the middle. There we go. Probably this goes here. This is the only thing that fits here. This guy goes here. Don't think that's quite right. Does not fit. Yeah, there's a missing plate. I don't see a 1x5 here, so don't know what's going on here. You can assume that this goes here. Could be wrong on that. We have like one extra piece to use if needed to avoid that. Okay, now it fits. We're making some progress on this cloud. There's a lot more pieces than I thought it would. But it's fun. It's a fun build, and I'm used to building vehicles and stuff. Sometimes buildings, but never clouds. It's good to have something new. Let's check the sub count. 1568. Not that bad. Well, same as before. So, still waiting for people who are interested to join the giveaway. And if you just joined, or if you already subscribed, bring a family member, a friend, anyone else who you think might be interested. Now I know I'm gonna have to do what I just did again. Oh, sorry. That's done. And I believe this will be needed as well. Actually, two ways of doing essentially the same thing. Still quite a lot of pieces left for just one more small remaining cloud. Actually, no, there's those pieces here to tile off this part. So actually, let's get rid of those because those are more obvious. Those we know how to handle. I'm yawning because I'm tired, not because the build is boring. Let's hide the spring mark. Also known as the mold mark. Those dark tan pieces out of the way. I have a bit less pieces for this remaining cloud. Still looks like a lot of pieces for what is ultimately not a very big cloud. Looks like I probably made a mistake here. I don't see how I could fix it. I need a 1x4, but now I have a 1x6. I mean, somewhere in here, there's a 1x4 next to a 1x2 or two 1x1s. I have to find, is there any place here where I could take away a 1x4 and replace it with a 1x6? Nothing obviously comes to mind. This collides here, this ends here. That must be another mistake, or use 2 plus 2. I highly doubt that will work. We're probably going to need these elsewhere. In the absence of alternatives, given we have one extra piece, I'll just put this here for now, and I'm probably going to have to undo this, but at least we're going to have like the build on top, and we'll be able to undo it. This is probably here, most likely. using up these 1x1s, but we have no choice. We're towards the end. There's nothing else that will fit there. So they have to be used here. Probably this goes here. Probably. Oh, I'm getting pretty tired now. Try to finish this bag, but I'm not sure I can do much more beyond this. Oops. You know, at least this one will be used. Right. This looks like some kind of architectural building or landmark. It also looks like a whale, depending on how you look at it. Let's see, this goes somewhere in here, I think. Is that right? Yes. So like here I made a mistake somewhere. Sorry. At this point, I'm just a few pieces away, but I'm not sure I can figure this out with very low energy levels left. That's the thing. It's not a difficult build, but it's a difficult build when you don't have the energy to build it. yeah, I'm pretty tired. It's past midnight. Let's check one last time. Subscribers. I think I'll wrap it up here because I'm gonna like start sleeping on camera at this point. Still 1568 subscribers. The giveaway that I promise will take place for one lucky person in the chat. And here's one last look at the minifigure. We'll pick up where we left off tomorrow if we can, or otherwise on another day. I'll try to do this today, Saturday local time. Hopefully earlier start, and we'll finish the whole thing. I think we start Rayquaza in the next bag, or if not, the bag after that. Here's a final look at the minifigure for today. And I'll show this minifigure again tomorrow. But yeah, this is our first look at the LEGO Pokémon minifigure, and I hope to have many more to come. Very interesting to add to my collection. If you want to put something in the chat, please do it now. I'm gonna end this live stream in about 15-20 seconds from now. So if you want to enter the giveaway, write something in the chat if you have not already. Yeah, I hate to leave a bag unfinished like this, but I'm gonna sleep right now. So yeah, good night everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.